The hidden code of the Bible, fact or fantasy. The Bible has always been seen as a sacred book, full of moral, spiritual, and historical teachings. But what if I told you that beyond its direct message, it hides something even deeper? Something that only a minority of scholars have managed to perceive over the centuries. We are talking about a hidden code, a system of coded messages waiting to be unraveled. But is this real, or is it just a myth fueled by the imagination of conspiracy theorists? The concept that the Bible hides secrets is far from new. There are those who believe that through certain patterns and sequences, the Bible reveals universal truths and even predictions of the future. But before we jump to conclusions, let's look at the first evidence and see if these codes really exist. To do so, let's start with the most famous discovery, the Torah code. Before continuing, make sure you are already subscribed to the channel, because in the next videos we will explore even more mysteries that you won't want to miss. Michael Drosnin's discovery, the Torah code. In the 1990s, author Michael Drosnin caused quite a stir when he published his book, The Torah Code, in which he claimed to have discovered a secret code hidden in the Hebrew scriptures. Drosnin used computer software to search for patterns in the text of the Torah, and in doing so, he found supposed predictions of future events, such as the assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, which in fact occurred shortly after the book was published. He believed that these codes were not just coincidences, but hidden messages, predictions of specific events in human history. The idea that the Torah contained codes for predicting such specific events caused a real revolution in the academic and religious world. On the other hand, critics argue that this kind of interpretation is the result of chance, and that any long text can generate similar patterns if you look hard enough. What if these codes are not predictions at all, but something deeper? Something we have yet to understand? Let's explore that. The mathematical pattern. The role of numerology. Numerology has always been a mysterious practice, and when applied to the Bible, it takes on a new layer of complexity. The central idea behind biblical numerology is that certain numbers carry hidden meanings and directly influence biblical events and stories. For example, the number 7, which appears frequently throughout the Bible, is considered a perfect number, linked to creation and the divine. But what many scholars suggest is that the Bible is full of numerical codes, sequences and patterns that are not visible at first glance, but become evident when one looks more closely. Such codes may involve the addition or multiplication of numbers that represent letters, as in the system of gematria. What would be most intriguing is that if there really are hidden numerical codes in the Bible, they could be keys to a deeper understanding of the text, revealing not only spiritual aspects but also prophetic and historical ones. What if this mathematical code was not a coincidence, but an integral part of the Bible's design? What else could be hidden there? The Fibonacci code, a surprising connection? The Fibonacci sequence is famous in the world of mathematics and nature, but many wonder, is this sequence intentional in the Bible? The Fibonacci sequence is a succession of numbers in which each number is the sum of the previous two, creating a progression that appears in various natural phenomena, such as the arrangement of the leaves of a plant or the shape of seashells. Some people believe that the Bible contains in its structure references to this mathematical sequence, which would suggest that, behind the words and passages, there is a hidden code, a universal language that connects the Bible to the cosmos itself. This theory is not as absurd as it seems. Some scholars believe that certain verses in the Bible, when analyzed numerically, follow patterns from the Fibonacci sequence. If this is true, then what does this reveal about the divine purpose of the Bible? Could the Bible itself be trying to speak to us through a mathematical language that transcends time and space? To explore this question, we need to take a closer look at one of the most enigmatic texts in the Bible. So, have you heard about these hidden codes? Let me know in the comments if you have, and let's talk. The Hebrew language and the power of words. The Bible, in its original form, was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, and each of these languages has a wealth of hidden meanings. In the case of Hebrew, words are composed of roots that carry multiple meanings, and often a single word can be interpreted in different ways, depending on the context. For example, the word ruach in Hebrew can mean wind, breath, or even spirit. This opens up a range of interpretations which are difficult to understand for those who are not familiar with the depth of the language. But the most intriguing question is whether there is a pattern or system hidden in these words. Some scholars suggest that if we read the words in a non-linear way, we can discover secret messages, a kind of hidden code in the original text itself. This would lead to the idea that the Bible not only conveys an explicit message, but also offers us something hidden, available only to those who know how to read between the lines. Could it be that behind each word, there is a key to understanding the real purpose of Scripture? Let's see what else the biblical text may be hiding for us. The enigma of the Book of Daniel and its coded prophecies. The Book of Daniel in the Bible is one of the most enigmatic and debated. What really draws attention are its prophecies, which seem to cover not only the events of its time, but also events that would occur centuries later. One of the most famous is the vision of the statue made of different materials, which is believed to represent the empires that would rule the world. But many scholars claim that the Book of Daniel hides much more than a simple narrative of empires. The prophetic passages are seen by some as codes that can only be understood in their deepest details. For example, the number of years between certain events can be seen as a code, revealing a map of the future. This raises a question. Was Daniel simply prophesying events that were already predestined, or was there a hidden message that would be revealed later, in modern times? To better understand this, we need to look at another part of the Book of Daniel, which has always raised many questions. Let's continue. But first, I notice that you haven't liked it yet. If you're enjoying the content, click on the thumbs up. The Revelation of John, the Apocalyptic Code. The Revelation of John is one of the most challenging texts in the Bible, with its apocalyptic visions and powerful images of destruction and transformation. But what if the Book of John wasn't just a description of the end of the world? What if, in fact, it was coded to reveal something more? Many scholars believe that the visions described by John, far from being just symbols, can also be a coded language that refers to future events. Some believe that the mark of the beast, for example, could be interpreted as a code to understand certain political or technological movements, while others point out that the apocalyptic messages speak of historical cycles that repeat themselves. What is most intriguing is that the structure and sequence of the visions could be a reflection of something larger that John was trying to communicate, a key to understanding the present and the future. If this is true, then John's revelation is not just a prophecy of doom, but a map for understanding our time and what is to come. The code still to be cracked. So what can we conclude so far about the hidden code of the Bible? The truth is that, despite our exploration of various theories and mathematical patterns, there are no definitive answers. The Bible, with its multiple layers of meaning, remains an enigma. But what if this code really does exist and we are only beginning to understand its intricacies? There are theories that claim that the code is not complete, that it is still waiting to be fully deciphered. Perhaps the code is so intertwined with the very flow of human history that only time and the necessary knowledge will reveal its fullness. But to get there, is the code within everyone's reach? Or will it continue to be a mystery reserved for only a select few? The question remains, will the Bible's coded messages finally be fully revealed? Or will we continue to search for answers without ever finding all the pieces of the puzzle? Thank you for watching this far. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving more incredible content like this.